Good morning and welcome to the video series How to Build Your Food Truck, where we're taking videos step by step, every single detail, everything you need to know on how to build your own food truck or your own food trailer, and we're putting them on videos so you guys can do the same and build your own or modify the one that you have now. And right now we're working on the gas lines right here. This is the final product of how it's going to look, and on the back part of this video I'm going to show you step by step how you can install these gas lines yourselves. But a quick disclaimer before I start: if you feel uncomfortable, if you feel like you're not up to the challenge, please contact a professional to do it for you, because this can literally blow up in your face. And I mean literally, because this is the gas, this is the propane that's going to run your equipment, and if it's not installed right, you can have a leak, and at the end it can really backfire on you and cause some major damage. So make sure that you do it properly. If you do not feel up to the task, hire a professional. This is what I did on my food truck. This is what I'm showing you, and it has worked for me. I've had my food truck for about a year. Rolling Burritos Food Truck is the name, and I started the build because every time I took my food truck out, they always asked me, hey, cool truck, cool trailer, who built it for you? And I was like, well, I did. And they're like, how'd you do it? And I was like, shoot, that's a long conversation, man. How about I just show you? So then I bought this other one. It's the exact duplicate of mine. It's a Cargo-Mate 7x16 trailer. The only difference is this one is much cooler and much bigger. It's 7 feet tall on the inside. I almost feel like keeping it for myself, but it's gonna be for sale. I am finishing up a couple small things, being that the gas lines are one of the last things to do. The only thing is that it's super duper cold out here, and once I start working, like 10 seconds later your fingers are just freezing from like frostbite or something. You guys can just see the snow that's been accumulating right there. And the other day I did buy these two 30-pound propane tanks that are going to go right under this tarp right here. Two 30-pound propane tanks. That's what feeds the equipment, and I am using this changeover right there. I'm going to tell you guys why I picked that changeover, why I like it, and I bought it twice. But these are the two 30-pound tanks. I purchased them for about $49 each. I will link it on Amazon. I didn't buy it on Amazon. I bought it actually at a local hardware store, being Menards here in the region of the Chicagoland area. They had two in stock, and I bought them from there. I believe on Amazon they're about $60 some, so about a $13-14 difference, just so you guys know that. But I am going to link it just in case you guys do want to buy it from there. It's just going to be maybe a little bit more. So with that, let's get started. I just wanted to make sure that I stated on this gas propane regulator and the lines, if you feel uncomfortable, if you don't know what you're doing, contact a professional. I'm not a professional gas installer. I just know that it has worked for me. I haven't had any leaks, and I passed the health inspection and the fire inspection. So I guess it's working. But again, make sure you do it right. Don't have it blow up in your face, because it can cause some major damage. So Frank Baltierrez with the DIY series. It is cold out here. I've been holding my breath because it's so, my fingers are freezing. With the DIY series, how to build your food truck. Let's get started. I'm gonna link the products, because some of these, I'll tell you these, some of these are out of stock right now, especially this one. I'm gonna show you guys the details on this specific model that I picked. It is out of stock right now. I think eBay is the only place that has it, but I will link it on Amazon. You guys can put it on your wish list, and then you, I gotta go. This finger's about to fall off. So we're out of here. Okay, so right here, this changeover is a high capacity stage 2 regulator, and I like this one because it handles 345,000 BTUs. And then when a propane tank runs out, they're clanging in my feet right there. When one of the propane tanks runs out, all you do is switch this over to this side. It's not on there yet. I just put it on there, dry fit it. You just switch this over to the other side, and it works the other propane tank, and it's phenomenal because you minimize your downtime. You're able to fit two 30-pound tanks on there, which is 60 pounds of propane. And then, like I said, if one goes empty on the right hand, you just flip it over to the other side and you're able to use it. There are different types of these, different BTUs, but I like this one because it was 345,000 total BTUs, which handle my cooking equipment. So just so you guys know that on those. Now we're getting ready to run some of the last pieces of the food truck build. This is the black steel pipe or the gas pipe that we use. We got a 12-inch one. Sorry, we got a 24-inch by 3/4. This one's 3/4 by 12-inch, and this is 3/4 by 6-inch. Those are the three that we're gonna need to be able to come out of the trailer to the front, where our two propane tanks are gonna be sitting at 2 30-pound propane tanks. So let's get these installed together exactly how mine are on my food truck rolling burritos, and then we're able to finish up this part. And then we have the changeover right here, the propane changeover. This one I had actually made a mistake. I bought 1/2-inch ones, but actually this one is 3/8. I forgot that this was 3/8 inches, and this is the one that I had purchased from Granger. It goes from 3/4 to 3/8, and that's gonna go in there like so. So that's kind of the guideline of what we're gonna be using. And again, we're gonna be using our Blue Monster thread sealant right on here. So 3/8, I'm gonna go exchange that because I bought the wrong one. That's 1/2-inch. So a 3/8 nipple. And then from here, we're gonna come out with, it's gonna actually come like that. Whoop, actually this is gonna face the front of the truck, and then this is gonna come into the truck as so with the little nipple, and then a 90 coming out to this 24-inch rod right here. So as always with all my pipe installations, I always try to dry fit it together, meaning that I do not put any thread sealing. I just kind of put it as if that's how it's gonna look. And the reason we have that gap right here is because in the beginning, when I first built my first food truck with the fire suppression system, I actually had this running at an angle straight like that. And this was a perfect spot for the tank to sit for the hood, for the fire suppression system. So I was able to change that out. And that's why you have this piece like this, and then 90s here, because in this little spot right there is where you fit the fire suppression tank in, which is gonna be that corner right there. And it fits perfectly in that area. So that's just kind of a why it looks the way it looks. And so you guys have the visual representation of my food truck. That's exactly what I meant when it 90s out into the tanks. Goes this way, angle, another 90, and then we're gonna stop right there. And then that's where we add this like a safety shutoff right there, that yellow piece that you see right there. And then there's a fire suppression tank. So that's just the show and tell. Actually, I had to come over here and take a picture, and I was like, might as well give you guys a video. So that is the reason why we're seeing this right now. As just like when I did my first, one of my first gas line installation videos, I don't have a vice grip or a table vice grip. So I have my two wrenches that I use here, the crescent wrench. Just make sure one's going one way, one's going the other, and then you're able to tighten them up. And then you do that with every single joint all the way down the line, and then you just align them exactly the way you want your 90s and your elbows to face. That's kind of the concept here, but that's as best as I can guide you. Make sure if you can get a table vise, those are actually really cool. If not, use these two tools right here, these two hand tools, and they should work perfectly fine. I have not had any gas leaks in my food truck, so just wanted to update you on that. Woo! Look at that. Nice. We got that part in. It's actually nice and warm out today with the sun out. Let me show you guys how much snow we got yesterday. Look at that right there. It's about 10 inches of snow. Not on this part, but on other parts, actually with the drifts and whatnot. But that's a little chunky snowfall that we had. But the sun's out right now, and it makes it nice and warm out. It makes a huge difference. And it worked out perfectly because we didn't finish up this piece of stainless steel. So we're using this as our workbench right now. But that's how this part of the angle is going to go. And so now we're going to install it right there. Actually, this one's going to be flipped that way because that's going to face outside. And then that one's going to go like that. So that's pretty cool how you do it in little pieces. And then we're going to put that 12-inch piece right there connected next. So now we're getting into the detailed, more the detailed side of this changeover propane regulator. These are the two, I guess you could call them pigtails that go on there. On this inlet right there, make sure, I did not know this until I started buying them, that you buy a quarter inch inverted fitting right there, because there's another one that is a little bit different, still a quarter inch, but it does not fit inside the opening right there that goes into your inlet, which these go into your propane tanks, the 230 pound propane tanks that we're going to put. So make sure that these are a quarter inch inverted. And then the output of this is a 3/8 gas pipe. I bought it yesterday and it's right here, 3/8. I bought two of them. One's a close black steel nipple and the other one's a 2-inch. So these are the parts that you're going to need to be able to hook up to your propane, which powers up usually your cooking equipment. Like on mine, it does my burners and my griddles right off of this right here. So just wanted to show you, quarter inch inverted tip right there, so it can fit nice and neat into that opening on the changeover. So I went to go measure on my other food truck how much it is from here to here. That way we have enough space for the tanks to fit, like that. And then that way it kind of looks in the middle on the food truck right here. So we're gonna place it right around there. It's about 13 inches from that wall to where the black pipe starts right here. So that's kind of our guideline. That way we know that our fire suppression tank fits right there, and that we're pretty much even on this side. So that's where we're gonna drill our hole using our drill bit to the outside, and then we're gonna make it 3/4 inches thick using our unibit. That way we put in our nipple and then we connect our gas pipes, and that's how it's gonna look, like that. So now we have to drill to the outside so we can feed out the 3/4 inch nipple, and that way we can connect to the the changeover propane valve. That's my pilot hole that I drilled there. It's gonna go outside. However, I used a drill here, and this one is a little bit too small, and it's just too small because we're trying to stay really close to the tanks. That way this gas pipe kind of sits on top of them as leverage. So what I had to do is go buy an extension right here. That way we're able to drill all the way from back here, like so. You can see, like that. That way we can put the drill back here, and we can drill to the outside and feed out the 3/4 inch. So we have to buy an extension, or you could have drilled it before the tanks. The only issue is that you know, you just have to guess where this is going to go. But I guess if you get the height of the tank, we were able to get that measurement right there. So it could have been done before all this was here, but I'm not going to move it all. So now I'm going to have to improvise and make it happen with this extension, with the little drill bit on this end right there, and then we're going to put it on the drill. So there you can see I drilled in that little pilot hole, and if we look, we can kind of see daylight to the outside. So that should give us the sign, there it is right there, where we're on the outside of the other side of the trailer. So let's go look where we're at, and then we're gonna just widen up that little hole right there. That way we can fit in the, wherever this is, the 3/4 inch nipple. Which one we're gonna use, I don't know yet, but this is what we're gonna feed to the outside, just so you guys are up to date on what's going on with that little hole right there. That's gonna feed all our propane equipment. And there it is on the outside, just a little bit of a hole. It doesn't really matter because that's gonna get plugged up with that 3/4 inch nipple for the gas pipe. So that's how we're gonna get our visual of where it's gonna go. So from right there, a little bit up, is where that changeover valve is going to get installed. So let's get drilling that one a little wider, and we should be good to go. And there you go. So you guys see that there's like no secret way of how I'm doing this. We're using the Milwaukee drill with a step bit. That's why it's called a step bit, because it gradually opens up the hole bigger and bigger. That's pretty much how we're gonna open it up, kind of like so. And then we're gonna dry fit. I don't think it's there yet, but just so you guys can kind of see what we're trying to do is that. I'll tell you this, it is getting cold as heck outside. Supposedly today we're gonna get about 4 inches of snow out here in Illinois. So that's kind of how you have this, is where it just fits really, really nice and snug right there with a 3/4 inch nipple. We just have to find out exactly what size we need, but just want to make sure that it fits right there. Okay, so if you can see right there, that's the hole that goes to the outside. I'm actually using a hole saw in there. That way we are able to cut this hole. I was not able to drill from the inside to the outside, so I bought this to be able to make the hole bigger from the outside facing in, and that way we don't mess up the tanks or anything like that, because that drill can rub, because it's spinning so fast, it can rub on the tanks. So it kind of skidded right there, so I want to make sure we don't damage the water tanks and have any leaks in the future. So let me finish drilling this right there. You guys can see that. Just want to make sure we're all on the same page when it comes to drilling. And it is super duper cold out here today. Like look at this, the snow doesn't even melt inside. That is so cold. So let's get to finishing up that part right there. All right, so we're putting the final piece right on the front, little pigtail looking thing right here. We got the changeover with the two pigtails that look like ears, and all we're gonna do on this part is twist it right on, and then that way it's gonna lock it in place. And then we're gonna put the bracket on this side right here that you have to buy separate, and then we're gonna attach it right to the trailer. But I'm just gonna dry fit it like I do everything else, make sure that it fits. It's gonna go right there. So that's the goal that we're looking for on the inside of the food truck with this gas line. This is the inside, and then we're gonna end it right here, because this is where they're gonna put the fire suppression connection right here, which is gonna go right up top to the fire suppression system. The shut-off valve is gonna go right there. So that's how the black gas pipe is going to look, installed 3/4 inch. The reason we put 3/4 inch is because usually equipment comes with 3/4 inch fittings on the end, and so that way we're not reducing the pipe. It's a straight shot across. That's why we use 3/4 from the beginning all the way to the end. So there you go. That is the completion of the black piping that we're going to be doing right here.